Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video of the Positive Talk playlist. In today's video, I'm gonna have another real talk, and it's about how to stop caring too much when things don't go your way. Let's get started. Things don't go your way, things don't happen the way you planned. It's for a reason then. All that you've got to do is sit and observe, and with observation comes plenty of knowledge, and that's so true. Once you sit and observe things, once you sit and observe anything, be it any situation, be it any person, anything, any place, whatever, if you sit and observe it even for 5 minutes, you'll get to know about it without even approaching it. That's what observation does. So imagine if things don't go your way and you just sit down, you're like, okay, fine, let it be, let things happen. And then you just sit and observe whatever is happening. And then you start understanding that the plan that you did would have destroyed you in the future if it happened. And gladly it didn't. Like, hello, isn't that so good? Which is why I say observe. Observation skills is not very easy for everyone to practice and preach or whatever, but once you start doing it on a daily basis, you will master the art of observing, because observation in any place. Let me give you an example. Observation during your classes, observation during the meeting, observation during a fight, observation during someone's vent out. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot. And all of these examples are people talking. What if you sit and observe things that cannot talk? Once you sit and observe things that cannot talk, you enter into a world where non living things actually talk. And that sounds funny, that sounds silly, but if you try it, it's beautiful and wonderful. Let's just say the fan. You can just stare at the fan on the ceiling. Like, just lie down, just keep staring at the fan. I know you might get dizzy, but you don't have to stare for that long. Like, just stare at it, and what do you see? Just three wings, and the way it rotates and all that stuff. And the motor inside is quite small, and it moves this big of an object, and you learn a lot about it. I'm not going to break down the steps into how a fan works, so it was just an example, but you get what I'm saying. Once you sit and observe things, instead of caring too much, worrying too much, or jumping into conclusions that didn't go my way, it doesn't work, it's always like this. Stop. Stop right there. Never think that way. Never, ever. Because things happen for a reason. And once you understand this, for real, you are going to be the happiest person ever, because you don't have anything to worry about, you don't have anything to think a lot about, you don't have anything to really care a damn about. The only thing you can care a lot about is yourself. If you're keeping yourself happy and content and healthy and doing things you always want, loving yourself unconditionally, then things will come your way. The right things, the right people, the right opportunities, everything are coming your way. Also, if people quickly change their plans with you, and at one point of time they're like, come, let's go hang out, and like the next they're like, oh no, I'm really busy, you've got to, like, we'll do some other day. That's for a reason. If you sit and observe, if you observe and analyze that situation that just happened, you'll figure out what the problem is and who the problem is with. Because if it's with you, you can change it and you can forgive yourself, learn, change, grow. But if it's with the other person, what you can do is let go. Let them do whatever they want. And then you can just go on your path. You can forget about them. That's so true because once people don't understand you, if people don't understand you, and if they don't even try to understand you, let go. Let go. Let go of that person. Let go of all of the people who don't understand you. You understand yourself? Yes? Good. That's all you need. Other people's validation does not matter at all. Not even a single bit. Because self validation is very, very important than validation from the people around us. If you stand in front of the mirror and if you just look at it and if you feel good and safe and happy with what you're looking at, a huge virtual hug because I'm really happy that you are in the point of life where you're going to start loving yourself more and start loving everything that's happening around you rather than hating on everything that's happening around you. And this happened to me. Once I started loving myself, once I started caring for myself, once I started noticing the very nook and corners of myself where I went wrong, where I was very, very right, certainly. And I started falling in love with all areas of me. That made me me. That made me who I am. Things happened. A lot of things happened, good and bad. Things happened, and all I did is sit and observe. Though things didn't go my way, some were unexpected, some were somewhat predicted, like the gut feeling thing works out. So some were expected and some were unexpected, and all that I did was sit and observe patiently. Because when I did observe, I learned quite a few things. I learned that people do not always look at you in the perspective you look at yourself. Hear it once again. Listen to it once again. Because people have different thought process. They have different ways of thinking, different ways of looking at things, different ways of processing things. And the only person that can think and look at you the same way you look at yourself is just you. There's nobody else who does that because you know yourself completely, head to toe. You know everything about you, every wound, every growth, every healing journey, and every trauma. You know your worth. And once you do know your worth, you can write a book about it. You can write a whole big book about it. And even if people read and try to understand, they'll not look at you the same way you look at yourself. Because, darling, you are precious, and you to yourself is a whole different world. If people don't act the way you thought they would act, or if situations don't happen the way you expected it to happen, that's fine. That's completely fine. Maybe it's not today. Maybe you did not learn a lesson for you to unlock that level. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because that happened to me a lot. I planned, like, my friends used to plan a lot of hangouts, like, during my schooling years, and all that we could do is just make plans and forget about it. Not intentionally forget about it, just that things didn't go that way. And once I did realize that, hold on, it's enough. Enough is enough. Like, it's not the first time this is happening, it's not the second, but this same thing happened plenty of times. We've planned so many hangouts, so many different places, so many different outfits to match and to win, but why didn't it happen? Why couldn't we do it? Why couldn't we make memories? Why couldn't we execute the plans that we did? Why couldn't we hang out? Because they weren't the right people for me. Because at that point of time, I was happy. I was very happy. I thought, oh God, I'm so happy that I got the right people in my life. But let me tell you, they weren't. They weren't. We were just together because of the good times we had before. And assuming that we would have the same good time again in the future, so I don't know for however long, we jumped into a conclusion that we will be together forever. But we couldn't even go for a hangout, darling. We couldn't take out all the boxes in the to-do, list we made. That's not what friendship is. Friendship is when, okay, now it's into a friendship segment, but it's almost on the same platform, so let me finish this. Since all that happened and since I realized that those people weren't the right one for me, and that at that period of time I did enjoy, I did make memories, I did have fun, and maybe so did they, but all that I learned from that relationship with me and those people is that not everyone is the same, and not everyone is you, and not everyone stays with you to help you. They stay with you to feel better about themselves. But what happened right now, this happened recently, and I'm really glad. I was speechless, and I don't know how to say to that person, because that person, she's a stranger to me. She's a stranger to me. It's been almost a week something, 2 weeks now, almost 2 weeks since I met her. And I had this, like, oh my God, this is quite emotional. I was held back after my college for like 30 minutes something, and she waited for me. She waited for me in the rain, getting drenched. I'm not saying you've got to get drenched in the rain for someone. I'm just saying you've got to take a step to take care of them, be with them, spend time with them. She waited for me, and when I came back, I thought she left because it started raining, but no, she was waiting there. She was waiting there for me, and she was drenched a little bit. And that made me feel that those people in the past, they did care for me, they did like me, but not love me. They did not want to put things aside to spend time with me. They did not stop things to spend time with me and be with me, but rather did the other way around. And I'm so glad that I had to go through that friendship relationship just to learn the lesson that if people wanted to, they would. And actions speak louder than words. I know this because I sat and observed. I, I like, I learned that lesson. How? I was observing. After all that happened, I was observing, I was analyzing, I was rethinking, not overthinking. I was thinking, where did I go wrong, or did I even go wrong? I did go wrong, letting them in my life in the first place. So, basically, what I wanted to say and what I mean in this whole video is that if things don't happen It happens for a reason. Like, things don't happen for a reason. There's this quote I read like a couple days ago, and I cannot just take it out of my head. It's so good. It says that if your plans are destroyed, that's because your plans were going to destroy you. Let's sit in that for a minute. Maybe until the next video. See you guys in the next video.